Well, Brad, obviously, first practice was today for you.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Thrown in the fire. Exciting. First morning to be, it's always something special to be a part of something new, especially with the connection I have with this coaching staff. Working with Coach Harsin already at Arkansas State and the guys at Colorado, I understand the culture of this program, what he's trying to build with this program, and it's really just an unbelievable opportunity for me to be part of a traditional, rich football program with, building young men for the future.
Did you come right in leading the group, or did you kind of watch more today? Or
no, that's not my style.
Yeah.
My style is not to sit on the bench and kind of feel my way through. When we get young men to come in and transfer here, we don't, first day of practice, it's feet to the fire and let's go. So that's what I did, and I love doing it. So, it was awesome this is my first spring practice of the offseason. We hadn't started at Lamar, so just ran out of breath a little bit, but that's okay.
So you all no guys' names yet, or do you have a roster in your pocket? Or
no, they have numbers on, so that's studying. Once meetings, that's on my downtime. I'll study. That'll come. And I started the meeting off with, guys, don't get offended. I don't know your names, but I understand the system. I understand the offense. So, we'll be okay.
How do you catch up to speed on people? You're going to go back and watch games. I mean, you've got some guys that have times that they've played, and other guys haven't seen much of the field other than practice.
Right. Well, the number one thing is get caught up on the installs and put in offensively so far. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and then studying what they've done this spring, and then really going back to in the season. Study what the guys have done last season and things like that. And that's a process. But right now, with spring ball's number one priority is to get better right now. Last year is last year, and so now we're just getting ready to prepare for this next season. So that'll be a lot of my own, not necessarily with the offense.
You look at your group, and you 3 guys all Mountain West last year were seniors, and then other 2 returning starters are injured. 2 other guys are injured. I mean, you're quote unquote starting 5 this spring. None of them played much at all last year. I mean, do you know much about your group at all from that standpoint? Or
I do. Those guys, they'll be back, but it's an opportunity for the young guys to get reps and get better. It's the young guys that, their reps have now doubled. So those are reps that we can take advantage and get them ready. So that will pave the way positive in the future. Are there some growing pains? Sure, but they're getting better every day. Coach Potter's done a great job. Nate's done a great job with the transition. And so, drafted, played at Boise State. He's done an unbelievable job. So, it'll come. It's an opportunity for the young guys to get the reps, get better, and then we'll handle camp once it comes around.
How would you describe your coaching style, your teaching philosophy?
High energy. We're going to be physical. That's the demand. In the classroom, teaching, interactive learning. It's a group effort. We're all in this together, and so that's what's important is interactive learning. Get them on the board, things like that, which is going to get them better, and it'll speed up the process.
I know you use the term dirt dogs. How would you describe that?
Blue collar. Blue collar. Put on a hard hat, put a lunch pail in your hand, and go to work. And take pride in the fact of everybody else is going to get the credit, but live in the limelight through somebody else. That's what it comes down to with this position. And it's, you sit in a room, and the running back couldn't have done it if we didn't have 5 in front of him. So that's what I mean by that.
Harsin said that a lot of times in coaching, fit is important, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that you've said, I think, sound very familiar to people. Well, why do you think you've been Boise State fits you?
Well, number one is, I have a connection with them, and number 2, I always think if you have an understanding of the culture of the program and what is built here and what is going to be built moving forward, that is the right fit. So, getting young men and getting them graduated, being positive in the community, things like that. And I think that helps the right fit. And then having an understanding of what he wants as offensive line coach, which is, blue collar, hard working, and physical.
Coach Harsin was saying that if Scott Huff hadn't been in position to coach the O-line when he took over here, that you would have been here with him then. What was that process like, and not being able to join him at the time?
Oh, Huff is here. He's a staple in this football program. Mm-hmm. And when I talked to Coach Harsin through that transition, is he has to make the right decision for his football program, and I respect that. As the head football coach, you have to make decisions. Are they always easy decisions? No, but I understood that. And it's also, you handle things the right way. You know, he's an unbelievable coach, an unbelievable person. Stayed connected, and I went on and learned from other things with Dennis Francione and things like that. So that is something that really it's helped me, and now I'm Boise Blue.
I know when Coach Kiesel got here, he said it was nice because it wasn't a handshake, it was a hug, you know, when he saw a lot of the coaches that he knew. I mean, for you to know most of the coaches on the staff and stuff and your familiarity, how did that help walking in the building here?
Oh, it's all about, we go back to transition, and that's what helps, is the transition in the whole matter. And so I would agree with Kiesel 100%. I would agree with Eric 100%.
How much of a whirlwind has it been, you know, from the hiring process to, like, you know, obviously you got here yesterday and all that. How much has that been?
Whirlwind's the right word. But, you know, I think for me it's easier. The football is everything. I mean, obviously besides my family, it's everything I love. So like we were talking earlier, you know, it's my wife and I have an awesome 4-year-old son, and just getting them going, and they're excited. They can't wait to be here. So it's easy for us. The families is a little different, but we'll rally. We'll rally.
Do you stay here? Everyone else leaves for spring break. Is that when you kind of catch up on things maybe next week?
I stay here.
Was that nice though? I mean, you get a couple practices in here, kind of get your feet wet, and then you get a week to kind of study up. And
Yeah, that, and, you know, it gives me an opportunity by myself, you know, and you get a lot of time. And so hopefully I can get my family up here and so they can see it and do all that. But yeah, I can sit in my office and, you know, really study the things that we talked about earlier, is going back to last season and really just looking at individual players rather than scheme oriented.
Do offensive line coaches have like philosophies? I mean, if you look at different ones across, and if so,
Sure.
what would yours be?
I think I touched it earlier, just with physicality, football, being accountable is really, really important to me. And having a passion for this football game. That's what I love. I have a passion for it, and I want them to see my passion for it, and I want them to have a passion to win and do it in a physical manner.
You obviously, you know, had NFL experience. Any of those stops or any NFL just experience that you feel, you know, has helped you, you know, in your career, I guess?
Well, really, it's you go back to the coaches you've had. My college coach, I felt, is one of the best in the business, in Tom Cable. And then I had a coach in Green Bay by the name of Larry Bedell, who was very good. And then, you know, I've also kept in close contact with Strauss, and I know Huff. So it's really what you talk about offensive line coaches, that's who you call and things like that. So I would say my college offensive line coach and Larry Bedell in Green Bay, that's who I really enjoyed.
Between your stops at Lamar, Baylor, Arkansas State, I would assume that many of your recruiting contacts are down south then?
Yeah, I've recruited Texas quite a bit. I'm from Southern California. I've recruited Southern California. You know, recruiting is something that will work out. You know, once they tell me an area, I'll lace up my shoes and go get them. You know, I think that's just work ethic and building relationships and handling things the right way.